In late 2005, a user named Jake stumbled upon a grainy, heavily corrupted video file on an obscure Soviet-era conspiracy forum. He claimed to be there to learn the Russian language by reading random posts and blogs in Russian. The video he came across, dated from the early 1960s, featured a man in a dimly lit, cluttered room, his face pale, gaunt, and eyes darting with frantic paranoia. Jake, a former archivist with a penchant for digital restoration, spent weeks cleaning the footage. What he uncovered and transcribed quietly spread across the fringes of the internet. This is his transcription, and the story that should have never been told, a truth buried deep within the frozen heart of the Ural Mountains. Transcript of Viktor Sokolov's video, 1960.
If you're watching this, it means I'm gone. My name is Viktor Sokolov. I was part of the first rescue team sent to the Ural Mountains in February 1959. We were told it was a simple recovery mission. 9 student hikers, lost in a storm, presumed hypothermia. But what we found, it wasn't natural, not by any definition of the word. God. The tent. It was shredded, yes, but not torn from the outside. Cut from the inside, like they were desperate to escape. And the bodies scattered. Some were partially undressed, even in that brutal cold. One had another's boot. Another had internal injuries, massive blunt force trauma, but no external wounds, no bruises, no broken skin. And then the faces, twisted, some with expressions of pure, silent terror. That's when I found him, Ivan Petrov, frozen in the snow, clutching this journal. It was blood-stained, pages grotesquely creased and frozen, with "Read all pages, tell them," scrawled on the inside cover in shaky, barely legible handwriting. I took it. I shouldn't have, but I did. I've read it. Every agonizing word. And now I know why they died. But if I share this, I'll be next. They'll make sure of it. So, I'm making this video as insurance. It's set to post automatically online, unless I reset a timer every week. If you're seeing this, it means I didn't make it. They found me. The journal is real. The horror is beyond anything you can comprehend. And whatever's out there, whatever they were doing, it's still watching. It's still waiting. I saw the light again last night. They're close.
The video flickered violently, static consuming the frame. When it cleared, Victor was gone, the chair overturned. The only thing visible was a faint, rhythmic humming sound on the audio track, slowly fading into silence. After a few minutes, the man, Victor, returned.
Sorry, I thought something was here. Here's the contents of what I could read in the journal. I did the best I could. You'll soon know why.
This is when he began to read the tattered, bloody book. The Journal of Ivan Petrov, February 1st, 1959. We set out today, a tight-knit crew of 9, buzzing with excitement. I'm Ivan Petrov, joined by my friends Alexei, Sergei, Yuri, Nikolai, Tatiana, Elena, Olga, and Dmitry. We're no strangers to the wild. Last summer, we conquered the peaks of the Caucasus, and the year before, we braved the Siberian taiga. But the Ural Mountains feel different, untamed, almost aware. The snow crunched under our boots as we laughed, dreaming of the stories we'd tell when we got back. Tatiana joked about finding a hidden Soviet bunker stuffed with secret maps, while Yuri swore he'd spot a rare snow leopard and claim bragging rights for the rest of the trip. But me, I just want to capture the perfect photo of the sunrise over the peaks, something to frame and hang above my desk back home. The day was grueling but exhilarating. We trekked for hours, our breaths puffing into the frigid air, the landscape stretching out in endless whites and grays. As we pushed deeper into the range, though, I couldn't shake a strange feeling. The trees seemed to whisper, their branches clawing at the sky like skeletal fingers, and the wind carried an odd, metallic scent, sharp, unnatural, like rusted iron or something recently burned but cold. I mentioned it to Alexei, but he just grinned and clapped me on the shoulder. "You're imagining things, Ivan. Too many ghost stories around the campfire." He tried to sound convincing, but even he glanced around. Maybe he's right. We set up our first camp as the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the snow in shades of orange and pink. The others were in high spirits, singing old folk tunes and debating who'd cook the best meal tomorrow. But as I stood watch for a moment, I kept glancing over my shoulder, half expecting to see something lurking in the shadows. It's probably just the isolation getting to me. The Ural wilderness seems to have a way of playing tricks on the mind. February 2nd, 1959. The cold is brutal, the wind a constant howl, but we're pushing forward. Camp tonight was a small victory, our fragile tent shielding us against the storm. Earlier, we huddled around a flickering fire, swapping tales and warming our hands. Alexei told a joke about a bear and a bottle of vodka that had us all laughing uncontrollably, and Tatiana's stew, made from canned rations and a few herbs she'd packed, warmed us from the inside out. It was cozy, almost perfect. For a moment, it felt like we were invincible, a band of adventurers conquering the frozen unknown. Elena even started sketching the group in her notebook, promising to immortalize us as heroes of the Urals. But as night fell, I noticed the stars, too bright, almost watching us. They seemed to pulse, like distant eyes blinking in the dark. And that metallic smell again, stronger this time, clinging to the air like a warning. Sergei shrugged it off as mountain air, but he kept sniffing the air too, a frown playing on his lips. It was different, a cold, acrid scent, like ozone mixed with old blood. My skin felt prickly. When we were gathering firewood, I thought I saw a shadow flit between the trees. Too large to be an animal, too fast to be human, it moved with an impossible fluidity. When I blinked, it was gone. Probably nothing. Just the wild playing tricks on my mind, as Alexei says. Tatiana caught me staring into the forest and teased, "Scared of the dark, Ivan?" I forced a laugh, but my grip on the axe tightened. We're heading into the heart of the pass tomorrow. The locals call it Dead Mountain, or Kholat Syakhl. But that's just local superstition, right? February 3rd, 1959. The pass today, it feels wrong. The air is too still, the silence too heavy, broken only by the incessant, low hum that seems to vibrate from deep within the earth itself. The metallic scent is overwhelming here, making my teeth ache. We decided to make camp early, just below the summit of Kholat Syakhl. No one argued. There's a tension among us now. Yuri's usually booming laugh is quiet, and even Alexei seems withdrawn, staring blankly into the distance. Olga complained of a dull headache and a metallic taste in her mouth. We tried to ignore it, set up the tent, brewed tea, but the hum, it's constant. And then there were the lights. Not stars, not campfires, faint, pulsing lights in the distance, just above the ridgeline. They were too high, too regular to be anything natural. We watched them for an hour, huddled together, the laughter gone, replaced by a cold knot of dread. Sergei tried to reassure us, saying it was military exercises, but his voice lacked conviction. Nikolai, ever the pragmatist, suggested we break camp at first light and double back. No one disagreed. We just want to get through the night. The light from those distant pulses seems to make the snow glow faintly, with an almost sickly, unnatural sheen. I can feel the hairs on my arms standing on end. Something is out there, something watching. I just pray it stays out there. February 3rd, 1959. This date is assumed since there was no new date written. I'm writing this now, though I can't see the words. My fingers trace the page by feel, the pencil shaking in my grip. I don't know how much time I have left. My face, it burns. My eyes, I don't know. I just know when I open or close my eyelids. I see absolute darkness. Nothing. If anyone finds this journal, they need to know what happened to us. They need to know the truth. It wasn't military. It was them. We were asleep, huddled together to fight against the cold, when a blinding, impossibly bright light shined through the tent fabric, hotter than any fire. It wasn't just light. It was a physical force, a pressure that slammed into us. Alexei was the first to shout, his voice choked with terror. The tent wasn't ripped. It was sliced open from the inside. In a panic, we cut our way out, desperate to escape whatever was outside. We stumbled into the night, half-dressed, screaming, blindly grabbing anything. The air thrummed with a deafening vibration, a high-pitched whine that vibrated through my bones. That's when we saw it. Not just the craft, a massive, disc-shaped horror, hovering silently above us, radiating that impossibly bright, painful light. But what dropped from it, it was hulking, yes, covered in coarse, white fur like a twisted beast of legend. Its eyes glowed with an icy blue fire that seemed to pierce through the blizzard. But it moved with an unnatural precision, an impossible speed for its size. It seemed more like a tool, a weapon. It was the Yeti, but wrong. Not a creature of the wild, but something else entirely. I saw Tatiana's face, screaming, blistering as if burned by an invisible, searing heat. Her skin was raw, peeling. In that moment, I realized this was not random. The metallic smell and the weird prickly sensations we've been feeling started to make sense. We were never alone here. Dmitri screamed out, "It's radiation." I heard Yuri's sickening thud as he was hurled against a pine tree, his body crumpling like paper. Sergei tried to fight it, but the creature's claws, like black blades, tore into him, silent and brutal. There was no struggle from him after that. Just a gurgle. I scrambled, crawling into a shallow cave, burying myself in the snow, my heart hammering against my ribs, convinced it would betray me. I listened. The screams, the guttural snarls of the thing. Then silence, a terrible, unnatural silence, broken only by the wind and that insidious hum. When I dared to creep out through a crack in the rock, I saw them, not the Yeti. They emerged from the craft, tall, impossibly thin, with elongated limbs and heads that seemed too large for their bodies. Their eyes were vast, black, utterly devoid of emotion, reflecting the cruel light of their ship. Aliens. They moved among the mangled bodies of my friends, not with curiosity, but with a cold, almost scientific detachment, examining them, cataloging. Then they found me. They dragged me out. 2 of them. Their touch was cold, dry. One held me down, while another, it used a device on my face. The pain, God, the pain was beyond anything I could ever describe. Like fire and ice simultaneously. When I woke, I was lying in the snow, the burning agony replaced by a hollow emptiness. My eyes were gone, my tongue gone, blind and mute, left to die. A discarded specimen, but I found my journal in the wreckage. My fingers, numb with cold, traced the words, praying someone will find this. I think they used that creature to test us, to see how we would react under extreme duress, to study our fear. And now, as I hear that low, guttural growl echoing outside this cave again, closer this time, I know they're coming back, to finish what they started, to erase the evidence. My hands are freezing. The pencil is hard to hold, and I've been flipping to, hopefully, empty pages to make sure I'm not writing over other words. If you read this, tell them what really happened on Dead Mountain. Don't let them bury the truth in snow. This is where the transcription ended. Curious, I've tried to do research on the guy in the video, Viktor Sokolov, and the user Jake, who transcribed this for me to read. Viktor Sokolov. I assume disappeared, or worse, since he was unable to reset his weekly timer for the video, his fate unknown. Soviet authorities officially dismissed the hiker's deaths as a tragic accident, a freak combination of hypothermia and an avalanche, despite the baffling evidence. The journal itself was never officially logged in the rescue team's report, vanishing into the archives of classified information. Yet, whispers of the truth lingered. Strange, pulsating lights in the Ural sky, unexplained growls carried on the wind, and a metallic, burning scent reported by other trekkers decades later. Jake's transcription of Victor's grainy video, a digital phantom from a forgotten past, finally brought the journal to light. Though many dismiss it as an elaborate hoax or a product of delusion, since his transcription post and the post of the video he mentioned are now missing. The uncanny parallels to the official, unexplained details of the Dyatlov Pass incident fuel a relentless fascination. Every year, adventurers, historians, and truth seekers trek to Kolat-Syakhl, Dead Mountain, hoping to uncover the full truth. Some return with stories of their own, flickering lights dancing across the peaks, impossible shadows flitting between the gnarled trees, and that chilling, acrid metallic scent on the wind. Others, just like the hikers of 1959 and Viktor Sokolov, go missing or don't return at all. The mountain keeps its secrets, but the journal, like a silent scream across time, demands to be heard. Thank you for checking us out at World of Apathy. If you enjoy scary stories like this, hit subscribe, tap the like button, and comment if you know any other conspiracies or good stories I should check out. My name is Rez. I've been your narrator. Have a good night.